These are Planet X skies. It's almost 7:30. North Scotland, one of the live weather cameras is off camera. I wonder why. Because it's showing up Newbury, wormwood, Planet X sky systems. 9th of 9th, 2022. This is Weymouth, south. All these comets are showing up above the rooftop. This is Devon. White sun stimulator. I'm just going backwards. You just go halfway through, see what we're seeing in the daylight. Right, so just more weather throughout the day. Yeah, these comets are very, very low level within these man-made weather engineering, geoengineering clouds. Tina Whitton has a website. You can investigate if you care to know more. So I'm just going to go forward. Okay, it's a great YouTube channel. He's in Croatia and he's captured some really good images as well. Wow. Now be aware of the Project Blue being preparing the skies as not natural blue. Very light blue. This is not your natural sun setting either. You'll see how it disperses in a moment. People will know the truth soon. Wow. Right, that is what it is now. You have comets on the right hand side. It's about 11 o'clock, no, 1 o'clock position right hand side. Lower 5 o'clock position on the right hand side. Right in the middle, 6 o'clock position, widespread above the rooftops. To the 4 o'clock position, above the rooftops. It is meant to be the sun setting, but it's not the comets. You've got the very dark clouds at the top, and I'm just going to now check the live stream. Which they're monitoring everything I do. This is just a weather subject, nothing untoward like that, is it? Well, did you know the new King of England has connections with certain historic events? UK economy news is very handy to go and observe. Right. Oh, look at that now. The skies are brightening up. King Giles' speech. So people, you know about Queen, well, you know what happened with Princess Diana all those years ago. And if you don't, you can investigate. For certain generations and age groups, people are aware of the truth. So it's going to make Camilla a queen not expert in that terminology. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Be careful what you post though. Be careful what you say, because especially in England, MI5, MI6, whatever, everything will be monitored more than ever. Right, this is meant to be the sunset on the left-hand side, as I speak. And I'm live. I'm messing about my connection. As I speak, this is not your natural sun. 17 white against the green. He's live. So let's see what he's saying in the background. Wow, look at that manipulation of the weather.
Koyuchi is a sustainable home textile brand inspired by the natural world. Koyuchi.
What the situation at 1956, and
Look how big that circle sun exposure is getting. Make it happening and it's getting dark.
I have to correct what is happening on the video, because it's stuck in one time and it's not showing the rest of the video. So I will correct this. I will not use my camera. I will just use a display to show you what is going on in this what is happening on this 6th of September 2022. I hate when I cannot see what it's on the screen, but okay, I will do it right now. This is what the situation at 1956, and as you can see, we have three objects here present on the screen, which I already show you. And let's go forward, and let's go to this very, very interesting part when this very, very big object is present on the screen, and this is about 2015. So we are going forward, and now this big object is coming into the view right here when I'm showing this, and I will go full screen. On the center of the screen is still remaining this big neon light object, which is got a reddish aura around it. Additional three objects are present on the left side. So let's go forward, and I will bring this to this main object, which is coming into the view. And this is right now here. As you can see, this object starts to be visible in the middle of the screen. And some additional object is here on the left side from this object, which is here. Let's go forward and let me show you this huge object which appear here. During the nighttime, this is 2040. In the evening, as you can see, we got huge light here, present reddish light, and this is the main object that it's distracted by the algorithm, and the algorithm is trying to decompose this very, very notable and visible object, and I will go forward now. Just a moment. You can see, look at the size of this object here. And I did also some screenshots of this. Just a moment. I will launch the program and this content here. So these are all the doing. As you can see, now we go from huge object that is present on the middle of the screen with additional two objects here. Just a moment to pick up the right color for the. So we got additional objects here and here and here. Let's go to the next slide. And as you can see, this is all. This is very huge. Let me put this is the size of this object, people. When you put a circle around it, this is what it's on. Then this is also here additional objects on the right side here, and then we go forward. You can see this is obviously almost completely round, except that this part you can see 90 degrees here. I can zoom in and show you this straight line that is present from the algorithm, and this very, very straight line is also from the algorithm, and this is the object here, the contours of the object and the visible here. As you can see, I will put that in 100%. This is 100%, and this is additional object here. So YouTube already stuck the video in one place, and it's not moving. So we will correct this in that way. So let's go forward. This is additional what is going on here, as you can see, and we got these chemicals that are passing all over this. What is going on here? Let's go forward. Again, you can clearly see this is not moving, and the time is different. And again, and again, and in fact, this is the beginning of this appearance, and pay attention to this object here. And now let's go backward, in effect, like this, and you can see how this is manifesting more and more and taking place on the video. This huge red light, which is present at 2016, long ago after the sun is gone on west below the horizon. So this is not the moon. This is not anything that we know. This is happened about 3 days before officially the Queen Elizabeth died. And I believe that Elizabeth died a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Or who knows when, in fact, and this is one very intriguing and synchronized sign that we get something that big present above England and above Scotland in the same time.
Exactly.
Happening, we cannot put this under the carpet because this is something what is probably will change the history from this day, and they are prepared very well for what is going on and for the future, to catch the future in their palms, in their hands, and not to drop it out of the control, so the people will still remain in the slavery, so-called monarchy in Great Britain. So this is what I want to show you. For some reason, the video stuck somewhere here in the beginning. You can clearly see that we have these objects which are visible, and we can also surround them. So you can see that this is the one here, and another one is somewhere here. Somewhere here is the third one, and we get some additional objects here, here, and here, and here.
You got 3
forward,
sunsets
here, this one here, and one object is somewhere here.
in Weymouth, Dawson.
Oh, here it is. Here is the huge object. I will go around this object, not this is the position. So pay attention to this. This round object right next to this object, which I showed you already here. I'll try to correct this now with some brightness and contrast, make it a bit sharper. Green planet-like or moon-like objects, you can see very clearly. They are very, very round, and this is this one here present on the screen, and this one here, which we can also mark with the arrows. So this one here, this one illuminated over here, and this one is Spanish. Okay, so let's go forward. As you can see, now we got this object here. Also, 1, 2, 3, probably 4 here. Let's go forward, and now we got 4 of them. 1 next to another. This is just a moment. This is 2. Look at this purple one here. 3, 4, 5, and probably here somewhere it's number 6. We got 6 objects together, finding the formation of very different orb forms. Okay. The port, as you can see now, we got this illumination happened here, and this came out from this one here. I mean, from this one here. So this one here became this one here. Okay. And as you can see, this is obviously that this is very huge. Let me put this is the size of this object, people.
You demons can't get away with it. They're all going to find out the truth soon.
What is that? This is also here additional objects on the right side here, and then we go forward. You can see this is almost completely round, except that this part of you can see a 90 degrees here. This is the size. Straight line that is present from the algorithm, and this very, very straight line that is also from the algorithm.
Dans le froid hivernal du Québec, il serait
Yeah, stop hacking me,
dur de
stupid
croire qu'on peut
demons.
avoir une serre solaire passive aquaponique qui produit de la
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall when he sat on the wall. Soon as he fell off, he woke up because he bumped his head to the truth and the fraud that's going on in life.
Welcome, Ishmael Commons.
Additional, what is going on here, as you can see, and we got these trace chemicals that are passing all over this. What is going on here?
They have to hide the truth. The
Again,
comets,
you can
Planet
clearly
X,
see this is not
wormwood.
moving.
So why you
It's
get
different.
distracted in
And
England?
again, and
What's
again,
going on?
in fact, this
All this is
recording,
still going on.
all this experience and
They're still hacking
again,
the
we
main
can-
internet.
Now let's go backwards.
The
In fact,
reptilian
like this,
shape-shifting
you can see how
demons.
this is
They're making a fool of so many.
and taking place on the video as a huge red light, which is
It's all
present
being covered up.
long ago after the
Against the grain, Igar.
sun is
Igar.
gone on west below the horizon. So this is not this is not
So
anything that we
easy is
know.
what I say, and
This
they
is
got a live weather camera offline.
about 3 days
Here,
before officially
let me just show
the
you
Queen
that
Elizabeth
is
died.
definitely offline.
I
They don't
believe
want you to
that
see the
Queen
Scottish
Elizabeth died
or weather camera.
earlier.
A particular one that's meant to see the sunset, yeah. They got one working. Is it back online now? Let's see. It's rainy weather. It's back on now. Right, there you go. This is not your natural sunset. Oh look, how many comets? Oh my goodness, we've got quite a few. But you ain't gonna see this because they're shadow bound me. Right, top right, 12 o'clock position, down on 4 o'clock position, right hand side, and right down below. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right on the horizon. Further.co.uk. It's only just being back online. It was offline a minute ago. Oh, so as I'll keep that showing, and try to hack into it. This is Negro. Shape-shifting reptile demons. Look at the bloodlines of the royal family and black mobility. You'll be knighted. Oh, be knighted. But I'm not going to say anything because you know what it's like. There is no freedom of speech in this physical existence on earth. But their demonic entities will be, you know, they can't keep changing their demonic entities and bodies and doing what they're doing. They're hacking into my phone. This is a war. Alright, so now a cloud is covering up the top. Still on the right hand side. The 3 o'clock position, the comets and down below. This should not be natural sunset.
So why get distracted and make
2 weeks or what? What a time to be alive. Educateself.org.
weeks or what? What a time to be alive.
Planet 9, they know that it's going to affect the atmosphere. This is just something you may or may not want to know.
Planet 9, they know that it's going to affect
Wow, look at that size. So, mind control, Tavistock Institute. Wake up from sleep. They're being fooled. We got red behind those clouds. Go away, Kirk, you demon. Shouting outside. Look at this red. That is your planet, Nebula Systems. Oh, you. You keep doing that. Could be a costume outfit. Idiot. Wow, it's even pink outside. Wow. So you tell me which is meant to be their natural sun. Oh my god. We have pink comets. That's in the middle of the spring. Excuse me. Wow. Look at how they're manipulating all the bloody weather. Can you see? Does anybody care to know? Right. Life is for the living. How? Oh, suddenly now. Well, that weren't long, is it, Google Inc? You suddenly went black. What, for just a day, half a day? And now you've gone back to your normal colours. I'll tell you, this psyop that's going on in the world is amazing. Not. Don't get taken in by the psyops. Welcome to Agenda 2050. Secret space. It is reptilians. Demonic stuff that's going on. So let me just listen into mainstream media. BS.
We're going to hop over to Darren McCaffrey, our political editor, who is in Downing Street. Darren, Parliament sitting tomorrow, and some pretty strong speeches, some pretty powerful speeches, I thought, in the House of Commons today.
Yeah, indeed, Nigel. We had this special session of Parliament that started at midday today, and after a minute's silence from MPs gathered in the Commons chamber, and it was rammed, I can tell you. I was in the press gallery for it, and we heard first of all from Liz Truss, who gave a speech, who again reiterated those words that we heard outside Downing Street last night, that the Queen Elizabeth essentially had been the rock on which modern Britain had been built. But actually, in many ways, the most impressive speeches, the ones that I think were pitch perfect during the tributes that we heard to Her Majesty the Queen, actually came from Boris Johnson, who paid tribute to the monarch, but also was quite funny at times. He, of course, was Prime Minister up until just a matter of days ago. He saw the Queen in Balmoral on Tuesday, and Theresa May as well, who gave, I think, possibly the best speech I've ever seen her give in the Commons. Again, she talked about her condolences, about her relationship with the Queen, but some heartwarming anecdotes as well. Keir Starmer gave a pretty good speech, and those speeches are continuing tonight, Nigel, inside Parliament, and they will do so again tomorrow as MPs pay tribute to Her Majesty the Queen. Interestingly, Liz Truss also had her first audience with the new King today at Buckingham Palace. It was around mid-afternoon that she left Downing Street, travelled that very short distance to Buckingham Palace. It lasted for around 20-30 minutes. Now, we've no idea what was said during that first meeting, though we got the sense from the pictures that has just been released, actually. But as Theresa May said, it is one of the few meetings the Prime Minister can have where it's guaranteed that none of it will leak to the press. So the Prime Minister has just returned, actually, to Downing Street in the last couple of minutes or so, having attended that memorial service at St Paul's Cathedral. Just briefly, Nigel, the key moments tomorrow are, of course, that Accession Council that's going to meet at 10 a.m. It'll be broadcast live for the first time at St James's Palace.
While you're being distracted, there's
and then a special
other things going on in Europe.
Around 70,000 people took to the streets in Prague to protest against the Czech government. They expressed displeasure that the government was paying more attention to war-torn Ukraine as opposed to its own citizens. The protest was dubbed Czech Republic in the first place. Protesters highlighted issues being faced by the country. Czech Republic is going through their worst cost of living crisis in 3 decades. They recorded their highest inflation of 17.5% since 1993 in July. The inflation has been worsened by the rise in energy prices, the cost of COVID-19 vaccinations, and the influx of immigrants. Protesters demanded the centre-right government of Peter Fiala to resign. Fiala had taken office in December of 2021. Protesters also voiced opposition to the European Union.
Still unrest coming.
Aquafresh is launching their new line of toothpaste, and they come in fully recyclable packaging. They also have no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or preservatives, so great for the
Here we go. Let's watch the Freemason Masonic handshakes. Freemason handshake. Hey, pause that, please.
It's so touching. Sergeant would be right. All those people get their contents. It's very calm. It's very calm. Never know you're ready. I know a lot of people have. Go.
She was pulled forward by the king. UK PM was pulled by the king to get closer to shake his hand. Well, I wonder if anyone else picked that up. Oh, he was digging in his hand to let her know he's in control. And she, power struggle. No, there wouldn't be. She wouldn't get away with it. Because she's been videoed. But a handsaw after that. That's the longest handshake I've seen. Their Freemason mates connections do. Well, times we're living in. That must have been their own press secretary. Shame. Oh my goodness me, don't get me started on her. It's not enough to sunset. Look at all these red and orange and yellow colours for the rainbow. These are comets, guys. You've got the red, orange, pink. Of course, not the pink. It's just on the outside. Wow, flash red. Look at that new blue skies. Told you, it's not your sunset. Look at life, you perps. You like hacking, do you, demons? Illuminati.
And apparently get that information. So what laws have they broken? I've got chronology of every Prime Minister, but it's all clear and apparent you get that information. So what laws have they broken? They have broken Coronation Oath Act 1688, Bill of Rights 1689, the Act of Civic 1700, sorry, the Treason Act 1702, 1351, and I believe it's an 1850 something one. This is why Thatcher and Blair attempted to repeal the superior statute. Now, what you've got to understand is a superior statute is what's done for all time by royalty of the day. That was William and Mary way back in 1688. So the Bill of Rights still stands today. Not Boris Johnson, Blair, anybody could do that. However, when they took us in the EU, they started to manipulate and hide, conceal the laws. The laws that put them in treason. I'll just explain. So how does that affect everything? Now, in the case of H.J. Watkin at Bristol Crown Court, once he broke the law, everything they do, or he did, after that point is void. Period. It's like it never existed. So if that's the eighth and every Prime Minister has broken the law, every statute and act is therefore void. That's Lord Benning, by the way. The most recent judgment is with Lords Bingham, Steen and Scott. And that was to do with being denied the Bill of Rights, your right to a trial. Now, what they all did, particularly Thatcher, she instituted a lot of legislation that took away those rights. Namely, Magistrates Court Act, 1980, Police and Criminal Evidence Act, 1984. He did it with Juries Act, 1974. We're all being hacked. But this is your greatest defence to anything. So he's put it under Local Government Act 1972 and played with the 1992 one. Very simply, by Britain, they broke the law, they never repealed anything that the previous treasonous kids did. But it is your defence in any action against you, just ignore them. Because they are aiding and abetting treason. Today, Boris, the law. Aiding and abetting treason. So when we're looking at all, what you rely on is what I've just quoted. Coronation Oath Act, Bill of Rights, Acts of Settlement 1700 and Treason Act 1702. So now I've had a criminal charge from
covering the actual, oh you have missed twice. Seeing they were hacking me as I was covering this. The Treason Act 1351 Bills of Rights 1689 Act of Settlement 1701. It goes reference to that's passed the secession to the English and the Irish crowns on Protestants only, and this has the effect of supposing the descendants of Charles I, other than his presidential granddaughter. So you also got this one. Act of Supremacy 1558. The Parliament under the Queen Elizabeth I, it replaced the original Act, and though East Galician authority to the monarchy, and which had been repealed, Mary I with the Act of kept in force today. Let's have a look. Section 8 remains in force in Great Britain and reads as follows, and that the jurisdiction, privileges, superiorities, spiritual, can't pronounce that word, as by spiritual power of back to where I was. Let me look for the Queen Elizabeth II and the history. The Queen Mother first. Elizabeth Angela Bowles-Lyon, 1900s, was Queen of England then and the domains of India. From her husband's accession as King Emperor in 1936 until the British Raj was dissolved in 1947 and her husband died. She was known as Queen Elizabeth the Queen Mother to avoid the confusion with her daughter, Queen Elizabeth II. She is the material grandmother of King Charles. She is the material grandmother. Well, they've changed Wikipedia quite quickly, haven't they? Born into a family of British nobility, Elizabeth came to prominence in 1923 when she married the Duke of York, the second son of King B and Queen Mary. Let's have a look. It's a king and Empire of India, 6th of May 1910 until his death in 1936. Okay. Mary Archaic was Queen of the United Kingdom, the British, and the Empress of India, 6th of May 1910 until 29th of January 1966, is the wife of the King George I. Right. So she married the Duke of York. He was the second son of the King George. Let me go at the top. Was the wife of King George's. Was a king of the United Kingdom, British Commonwealth, 11th December 1936 until his death. I see. In 1953, he was currently the last Emperor of India until 1947, and the British Raj was dissolved. He is the material grandfather of King Charles. Oh. So the Queen's grandmother had married into nobility as the second son of George I. The couple and their daughters Elizabeth and Margaret, so they have their two kids, and that began so they took on. Just have a quick nose. I don't get that's. Elizabeth's husband unexpectedly became king when his elder brother abdicated. That's it. I remember that because there's movies and shows and stuff about that. Elizabeth then became the Queen Consort. She was accompanied by her husband on diplomatic tours to France and goes into that during the Second World War. Okay. Her husband had deteriorated after the war. Oh, she was widowed at 51. Her older daughter, aged 25, became the new queen. After the death of Queen Mary in 1953. I see. Hold on, how could that be? Queen Elizabeth II was still alive, right? No. Queen. Let's have a look. So Queen Mary died, who is the wife of George I. Okay. Okay, let's go back up a bit. Didn't know she's called Queen Mary. Early in life. She was the youngest daughter of 9 or 10 children. Earl of Stanmore and King Lord something 1865-1904, British peer and landowner who was the father of Queen Elizabeth, Queen's mother, the mature grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II. So he's a lord. Okay. A title of peerage of Scotland and the peerage of the United Kingdom. First quoted Earl of Kingsmore, the peerage was not in 1677. Okay. Late in the 14th Earl of that, the peerage of Scotland and his wife was the mother of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. Right, okay. Her mother was descendant from the British Prime Minister. Oh, really? The head of government. Third Duke of Portland, with a British wing, then a Tory politician. 1792. And Governor General of India. And the first Marquis was an Anglo-Irish politician, Colonel Administrator, 1781. Okay. Who was the elder brother of another Prime Minister, first Duke of Wellington. The location of the Queen's birth remains uncertain, but she was born either in her parents' Westminster home or in horse-drawn ambulance on the way to hospital. Interesting. Her birth was registered as Hertfordshire countryside. Okay. She was christened on 23rd September 1900. She spent most of her childhood St Paul's Village in Hertfordshire. A village, Scotland, a home at Earl Stanmore, an Earl's ancestry home in Scotland. She was educated at home by a governess until the age of 8. She's also fond of sports, ponies and dogs. She started school in London. She astonished her teachers by Greek and something else. She had a private education under a German and Jewish governess. Okay. On the 14th birthday, Britain declared war on Germany. Fowler brothers served in the army, and her elder brother, an officer of the Black Welsh Regiment, was killed in action. That's not good. 3 weeks later, the family discovered he had been captured after another brother being wounded. He remained a prisoner of war camp the rest of the war. One of the homes had turned into a home for wounded soldiers. And goes into a marriage. So, wedding to Prince Albert, the Duke of York, was the second son of King George V. He initially proposed to Elizabeth on 21, but she turned him down. And being afraid, never again too free to think and speak it out, as I feel really ought to. When he declared he would marry no other, his mother, Queen Mary, visited. So let's have a look, Queen Mary. Okay. To see for herself the girl who had stolen her son's heart. Oh. In February 1920, Elizabeth was a bridesmaid at a wedding at Albert's sister, Prince Mary. Okay. And eventually, Elizabeth agreed to marry Albert despite his misgivings about royal life. Albert's feeling of choosing Elizabeth as a member of a royal family for a daughter of a peer was considered a gesture in favour of political modernisation. So previously, princesses were expected to marry princesses from other royal families. So, I thought as much. So she wasn't really in a royal family per se. She got into royalty through marriage. They selected a platinum engagement ring, a second diamond rings. They married in 1923. That's how she got in. Her family got into royalty because she married King George was the first one of his sons. So she become so because King George first died and his eldest son Edward, Prince of Wales, became king, George had expressed private reservations about his successor, saying, "I pray God that my eldest son will never marry, and that nothing will come between." Oh, but there's been films about all this. King's Court. Summer 1938, a visit to France by the King and Queen was postponed 3 weeks because of the death of the Queen's mother, Lady Spanford, in 2 weeks. It's quite interesting in history, and the history with the Buckingham Palace. There's a lot of history. Yeah, it's a lot of history. But the war years as well. So the daughter was trained very well. So obviously what's going on now with the Queen, late Queen, just passed. It's going to follow similar. Coat of arms. Pretty colours. Oh look, gives you the genealogy. Oh, that's interesting. So Elizabeth II, their children, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Princess Margaret also had 2 children, Lady Sarah, David Armstrong. She married Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Their grandchildren, obviously. Ancestry, that's good. Interesting. So there you go. Right, I'm going to stop sharing now. Just what I observed that. Signing out.